All right, Reef Builders here at the Milwaukee booth at MACNA 2016 in San Diego, sitting down with Curtis to talk about Milwaukee instruments and some of the new products you're bringing to market recently.
Yeah, we've got the brand new DL black box data logging Wi-Fi series controllers, and there's 4 different versions right now. There's the DL100, which is a monitor only, the DL 122, which is pH and incremental dosing control. The 510 is the pH with the incremental dosing control, and the DL 125 is pH and ORP controllers.
So, you know, when I started the Reef Aquarium hobby, if you wanted a pH monitor or controller of any kind, it was pretty much, Milwaukee or 1 or 2 other companies that have since faded into the background. You guys are still around, and you're really pushing the envelope. I get the impression that you've been making these products maybe for some other industries, some really kind of critical application industries, and you're kind of coming back into the fold of the aquarium hobby. Is that appropriate to say?
Yeah. We've got so many different markets outside of just the aquatic industry that we're, like you said, trying to come back around into the aquatic industry and upgrade a lot of the controllers and give the hobbyists what they're looking for in a good quality controller.
The thing is, I don't think they know what they're looking for. You guys are experts, and this is why you have 4 different pH controllers, right? This is because you know that they fit certain applications but not others.
Correct.
But one of the challenges for aquarists is looking at your product catalog is making sense of which one they should use, because when it comes to a black box of ultimate pH control, there is nothing like what you guys have provided. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the features that are in the black box pH controller?
Sure. Some of the unique features are, obviously, we've got visual alerts so that you can set your caution and critical alerts. So if your unit is running fine, you'll see blue lights. If you hit a cautionary alert, the LEDs turn to yellowish green color, and then obviously critical, you see the red. That way you can take a quick glance across the room and you know if your unit's having issues.
For any control head that I have for my pumps, for my lights, for a controller or dosing pump, I mount those all in one place because they all have status lights.
Right.
And they'll tell you at a glance if everything's working right. You know if that light is red and it's supposed to be blue, you need to walk up to that component of the tank and figure out what it's doing.
One of the other really cool features about it is it's got probe diagnostics. A lot of people don't realize that a probe is kind of like a battery. It starts to go, bad after time, and a lot of people just put their probe in the tank and walk away. The cool thing with the new DL series is it's got probe diagnostic, so you can go in, you can do a probe diagnostics. You can check to make sure your probe is functioning within the proper spec.
So that's some really cool information, and that's kind of the kind of details that get lost at this kind of show. A lot of hobbyists, tend to take manufacturers at their words that this product A performs function B, and that's it. Set it, forget it. But they don't really dive into what makes that product work.
Right.
Case in point is some of the refractometers. Your refractometer is extremely accurate, but it might be calibrated and designed for use with brine instead of seawater. But same thing with pH probes. People might tend to calibrate their pH probes once and just assume, okay, that value is set, it's perfect, until I have to replace the probe in a year. And they don't really, manage the equipment that they're using.
Right.
So what are some of the other features that really help your products give an accurate and precise pH measurement?
Well, one of the other things is when you do a calibration, it also will do that probe diagnostic first and foremost, so you're not trying to calibrate to a bad probe or a probe that's going bad. We also have the ground loop preventer on both the pH and the ORP side, so any stray voltage is completely eliminated. You don't have to worry about trying to ground out the tank due to stray voltages and any of that stray voltage affecting your probes.
After the temperature of your water and the salinity of your water, the pH of your water is one of the other parameters that governs all of the reactions that are going on within your aquarium. And we really take it for granted how much this is overseeing the rate of functions or rate of reactions inside of aquariums. You know, people say, oh yeah, I need a pH between 8 and 8.2, 8.2, 8.4. But if you're off by 0.2, you might be way outside that scale. And a high pH leads to high coral growth. So having a really critical and reliable pH measurement device, a pH controlling device, is one of those things that can really, really drive your coral growth in your aquarium.
Oh,
increase the health of the entire ecosystem. So what are some of the other applications of your pH probe? Besides just measuring the pH, what else can you do with it?
Well, the pH only, the DL122, which controls pH, it also has incremental dosing control. So it's separate from your pH control. So not only are you able to control your pH function, like your solenoids and things like that, it's got incremental dosing, so you can go in, select your days. It's got automatic calculations, so if you say, I want to dose 5 milliliters 10 times a day or whatever, you can do that. It does the automatic calculations for you, spreads it out over that time range.
You know, it's really easy for hobbyists to take for granted that some other manufacturers might incorporate some off-the-shelf pH measurement devices and pH probes. You know, for the longest time we thought, okay, we got your basic pH probes and we got your lab grade probes. Your lab grade probes that for $80 are the best you can get, but in recent years, double junction pH probes are like, oh, okay, now there's another tier. But you know, these devices tend to stray in their measurements, and you know, having critical control of pH parameter in your aquarium is something that reefers should pay more attention to. And Milwaukee, you have a range of other water testing devices and water management devices, right? You've got a great digital refractometer. That is very accurate, very precise. I've seen it in a host of different laboratories of aquarium companies around the country. You've got a great new peristaltic dosing pump, standalone, works great with your device. So thanks a lot for sitting down with us today. Milwaukee range is much broader than the pH we talked about today, but if you're really concerned about pH control and measurement, Milwaukee is one of those companies that you know, does one thing and does it best. So thanks for sitting with us, Curtis.
Thank you. Appreciate it.